Okay.
This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. This is Hockey Night in Thailand.
And we welcome you back live and in progress. It is CM Mandalay and Lexicon Lumberjacks, and this is Hockey Night in Thailand. Apologize for being just a little bit late getting started, as there was a quick turnaround between the Youth League championships that ended right before we started, but doesn't matter. We're here, and we could not be happier on this Sunday. Unseasonably cool temperatures outside. It's almost cooler outside than it is inside the arena. Adam Gottschalk alongside Greg Beatty and Keith Mueller, the hero who somehow, in a 5-minute window, got us turned around and on the air. We have a lot to catch up on, as we didn't really have a pregame show, but let's start by saying hello. Greg, how are you?
I'm doing excellent tonight. Thanks a lot, Adam. I'm looking forward to a great game, and we're already off to a fast start with three shots on goal for the Lexicon Lumberjacks.
So the matchup in Game 1, first of all, if you're just tuning in, it is CM Mandalay wearing the white jerseys trimmed in green and black, Lexicon Lumberjacks in the blue. And as you look at it on your television or computer or cell phone screen, CM Mandalay is going to be in the first period shooting in the goal to your left. And that's a shot rifled off the side of the cage. That will not be an official shot on net. Can you tell, Greg, again, we had a this is a NASCAR line change getting our gear set up. So I don't know whether that's Lance Parker or Ben Kleineshay in net for Lexicon Lumberjacks. If you can figure that out for me, that would be a big help.
Yep, that is definitely Lance Parker,
our former broadcast partner from the last time I was here. So, entering the game, CM Mandalay 3-6-0, Lexicon Lumberjacks 5-3-1. Now we get a chance 3 minutes into the game to actually start talking about the matchup. Greg, what do you think about this one?
This one's going to be a close game. It's all going to come down to who's got skaters in front of the net, who's got the quick shots, and some good goaltending. Both Dream and Lance are capable of great goaltending, so let's see how hot they are tonight.
Well, that was the first goal of the game, and that was Kornq Prasop, who just went 5-hole and snuck one under the pads of Dream, the goalkeeper for... Are they going to say that was...
That was a save.
That was a save. Okay,
yeah.
so all the guys... I thought it was a save.
It was a close call, but definitely a save.
No, my eyes... I need to start believing my eyes, because watching that from up here, I thought it was a save, and then the players went over to the bench and started high-fiving. So I guess it was just high-fiving for creating a scoring chance, but speaking of a scoring chance, Friesen snaps one wide. Mike Friesen, who enters this game first in the CM Hockey League in assists, second in points overall. And it's been a big boost to CM Mandalay. Only 3-6-0, but since they stacked that top line and they put their three big scorers together, this has been a much more dangerous team. We see it here. Friesen, another chance. That went off the shoulder of Parker.
Nice save.
And the puck goes all the way down the end of the ice, and that will get the whistle for icing. And finally, we can catch our breath, and I can actually sit down. 0-0 our score, CM Mandalay, Lexicon Lumberjacks. And that, at our first whistle, gives us a chance to have a look at tonight's away team, CM Mandalay. As you see right now, goalkeeper in net is Dream. Igor Sikora sits today. Tom Stasny, actually, who's usually playing the wing, takes that face off, and he won it momentarily, but it was quickly poked away and then driven back the length of the ice. Justin Saint-Denis, the captain for Lexicon, in the corner. This is a game that I think these are two teams who both, can feel, I wouldn't say feel good about where they are at this point in the season, but they've seen enough things go in their favor at points to know that they still have a chance. For Lexicon Lumberjacks, when the year started, the first 2-3 weeks, they looked like they might be the class of the league. And for CM Mandalay, a really slow start. And it's the last 2 or 3 weeks that they've started to play better hockey. They're up to 3 wins now. That's 2 out of their last 3 games. They've come away with a win. Lexicon Lumberjacks, 5-3-1. They have a negative goal differential this year, which is a bit surprising because of the firepower that they have on the roster. And I'm being told we got the home team on the TV screen, so this is the roster for Lexicon Lumberjacks. Let's talk about that roster. 37 goals, 38 allowed on the season for Lexicon, and really, I think the latter number isn't alarming. The former number is. We have a delayed penalty call coming as Parker jumps to the bench, and this is going to be the first power play of the game going towards Lexicon Lumberjacks, which is a good segue from what I was talking about. When you look at their scoring dipping of late, I think one of the big reasons why is they've had 3 straight games without their star center, Kim Arola, who's back in the lineup today.
Yes.
15 points, 8 goals, 7 assists on the year, and just 6 games played for Arola, and having him back is a real spark. And I say that now. I have not actually seen him on the ice. He's in my lineup card, and I assume he's playing today.
I believe so. So both teams are capable of being in first place, but it's all about the execution.
Dennis Omelka, the defenseman who has a heavy shot for Lexicon Lumberjacks, had it, but now he'll hold the line, keep it in. The way that this works, if you've never watched a CM Hockey League game before, it's a running clock, 17-minute periods, and then during power plays, that becomes a 2-minute and 30-second advantage rather than the typical 2 minutes, but the clock runs. Q Prasop puts one towards the net looking for a deflection, and he got one, but it was the defensive player, Andrew Sia, who got a boot on it, and it has to be a reset for Lexicon. Omelka carries it in. There is Arola, so he is in the lineup today, back from his winter holiday or wherever he was, but Arola is the one chasing it in the corner and playing a little give and go with Roger Promtong. 0-0 our score. We are 7.5 minutes into the game. Lexicon Lumberjacks on the man advantage. And they've got another 1.5 minutes, so 60 seconds gone by. That one just held in. So far, a lot of possession, but no official shots on net registered for Lexicon Lumberjacks. John Shaknovsky, he also missed a couple of games recently. The commish is on the elbow right side with it, looking to create, throws a centering pass to the middle where Mark Vatsis was there, but couldn't get his stick down on it. That shot deflected. Arola, I think he did get a piece of it, but it also hit the defender and comes back to the blue line where it is out to neutral ice, and we're under a minute remaining on the man advantage. Here's Arola, 1-on-4, trying to create. He's got Vatsis with him. Now we have another whistle, and what's this going to be? Delayed offsides or a penalty call here?
I think it's a delayed offside.
No, we got
a penalty against Thomas Stastny.
We have a hook, and we're going to have, depending on how long it takes Stastny to slowly skate off the ice, we'll have a very short 5-on-3.
Well, Stastny's the player to watch out for tonight. He is playing with a broken toe. He broke his toe in the last game. He blocked a shot and has a broken toe to suffer for that.
Ken Kinborn. 15 seconds officially will be the 5-on-3 advantage here. On the ice for Lexicon Lumberjacks, trying to get a 1-0 lead here. It's Arola collecting. Kinborn's shot was kicked aside. 3 seconds, 2, and now Bonazzo comes back onto the ice, so it's a 5-on-4. Another minute here, and that one slips past Omelka, and Kinborn will go back to collect. So if you're Lexicon Lumberjacks now, you're looking at about 4.5 minutes of man-up time here in the first. You've really struggled over the last month or so. Huge chance here with an early lead to get a good feeling in this one, but you can't let this one slip by without at least creating a couple of scoring chances.
Yeah, I always find the Lumberjacks always get off to a bit of a slow start, and they're proving that tonight. They've had the power play, and they've only got 6 shots on goal in total, and most of those came before the power play.
I give some credit to the penalty killing as well of CM Mandalay. A lot of guys getting down onto the ice and blocking shots. That was Kinborn again, his second chance at the power play. That was saved. Kinborn has it again. And he'll fire one towards the cage. That was through a screen and a nice save by Dream. Arola blocked his vision, but he still stayed with it and caught it in the catching glove. No rebound. 10 minutes in, 7 to play. Power play with 1 minute left.
Yeah, Dream's a great goalie. He has had a bit of trouble stopping the rebounds, and I was glad to see him glove that one, and no rebound there, and the face-off was to his right.
Puck behind the net where it is Hong Zwadi who has it, and it's taken off his stick by Sinagulya, and Sinagulya also gets up and gets a piece of that one, and it's him who's able to clear with 30 seconds left, and McConnell will carry it back in, kill some time, and get CM Mandalay a little closer to a really big early game extended penalty kill. One last chance, Promtong, 20 seconds remaining on the man up. Promtong puts the brakes on, fires to Kinborn. Kinborn collects, he's waiting for help, he's got guys with him. Goes behind the net and back in possession of Promtong again. He'll still carry, hooks off, he gets a little space, but now with 5, with 4, standing up below us and waiting to come back on the ice is Stastny. And just like that, penalty kill successful, back to back. And Stastny very nearly got a breakaway. How often you see that coming out of the penalty box?
Yeah, the defensemen need to watch out for that, and they were lucky on that one because he did almost get the breakaway.
Tom Stastny, who one of the great moments of the early, well, this is a 2-on-1 real quick. That one deflected off Friesen's stick and out of play. One of the great moments in my time doing the games this year was when Tom Stastny scored the game-winning goal for CM Mandalay about 2 hours after stepping off the airplane coming back from his Christmas holiday.
Well, he's always a threat, and of course he's got the NHL genes in the family. His father played in the NHL as well as his 2 uncles, and his cousin currently plays in the NHL. Well,
you know what they say.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's a shot from Friesen. I was trying, I got nothing. I was going to say that, you make that choice at a young age of whether you're going to be in the NHL or the SHL, and there is no correct answer there. But
Well, just that the paychecks are bigger in the NHL, that's all.
Stastny on the draw again. It's, again, maybe it's a decision from the captain Mike Friesen. Maybe it's something that has to do with players who are in and out of the lineup. But we don't usually see Stastny playing in the center spot, but that's where they've had him lined up today. So a little bit of a line shuffle as Scott Murray is out there. We had back-to-back games, Keith and I here, where my color commentator scored a goal in the nightcap. So we had, for example, first time it was Scott Murray, next game it was Jesse Starosta. Both of them finished their time on color and then went down and scored a goal. So I told Lance Parker, who's in net for Lexicon Lumberjacks, I told him, because he did the last game together with me, that he needs to be, at least for a period, in the lineup as a skater, not a goalkeeper, because the tradition is well alive. There's Arola. He's got nobody in front of him. Saint-Denis next to him, and Kim Arola rockets home his 9th goal of the year. Just like that, defensive breakdown on a slow line change leads to a 1-0 Lexicon Lumberjacks lead. Kim Arola, welcome back.
That was a nice shot right along the ice, just inside the post. Dream did not have a chance on that one. That was a great shot.
I like it when I sound smart. Just saying the Lexicon Lumberjacks offense has struggled with Arola out the last 3 weeks. He's back, and he's got a goal.
Yep, he's out there playing full force.
By the way, I realize now I might be wrong. I wasn't here last week. Maybe he was.
Well, it was
just
2
because
weeks
I
ago,
wasn't
yeah.
here doesn't. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Just because I wasn't here doesn't mean hockey didn't happen last week. Sometimes I forget that.
Yes, and Lance actually had to fill in for you on the play-by-play, and I thought he did a wonderful job. And
I was watching. I was watching both of you live. I had obligations, but I got home in time to watch half of the first game and all of the second game, and you guys both did a fantastic job. And that second game last week was a blast to watch.
I enjoyed both games. The first game was a bit of a spread in the score, but it was still enjoyable to watch, and certainly the second game was a little bit closer and just as much fun.
Vatsis gives it to Hongswati, who tried to jam one home under Dream's pads, but nothing doing, and puck comes around. It's been mostly in the offensive end in the first period here for Lexicon Lumberjacks. Ken Kinborn has it, fires one, and a beautiful deflection. Kinborn, and I believe that was Promtong on the doorstep. There's 88 and 89 down there. Let's see who the first one is to get the high fives and the praise on the bench. But it's either Mark Vatsis or Roger Promtong, and they're both getting high fives. That doesn't help me. If that was Vatsis, that's his second goal of the year. But the credit, along with the deflection, Ken Kinborn, he put that right where he wanted to. That was a shot pass. That was intended to be deflected in.
Yeah, I think that was Mark Vatsis, and he was in the right place at the right time. He just had to tap it in, and that's what he did. Tap in city.
For Mark Vatsis, the American-born forward, second goal of the year, and that is for Ken Kinborn, his 7th assist. And it's 2-0 Lexicon Lumberjacks here in the opening period with less than a minute to play.
Oh, it's been a fast period.
There are guys who stand out that whether the numbers, and I'm not saying that the numbers aren't impressive, but regardless of what the numbers say, there are some guys that up here, me not knowing anything, right? Being new to the league just here as a broadcaster, right? There are some guys that just pop when you watch them play. And Ken Kinborn for Lexicon Lumberjacks is one of those guys. Every time you watch him, you just see something that, he's got a heavy shot, he's always making plays, and he's a defenseman. Arola overlaps with Saint-Denis, looking for one more here in the last 30 seconds of the period. In fact, last 15 seconds for Lexicon Lumberjacks. And there's a turnover, and Friesen very nearly, you could see his eyes light up and think, can I get a breakaway out of this? Nah, period's going to end. With that, let me quickly tell you, our network affiliates, this is your break, a local break. So if you're bored hopping back in studio, this one's you. Back after this with the second period, this is Thailand's biggest night for hockey, Hockey Night in Thailand.
This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather, and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
Back with the second period, Adam Gottschalk and Greg Beatty here from Bangkok, Thailand. And it's 2-0 Lexicon Lumberjacks over Siam Mandalay. The team switched sides as we begin the second period, and now it is Siam Mandalay in the white jerseys moving from left to right and looking for some spark right away to begin the second period. That is Sean Berg, who's playing as a substitute in this game, number 12. I actually don't know what he did. I was too busy digging up who number 12 was. It's so nice to have the holiday season over with when these teams are, 10 guys on each roster who I have never seen before wearing numbers that are pulled from the bottom of a jersey bag, but not easy on the broadcasters. A lot of fun for the players. Already we've seen probably more zone time from Siam Mandalay in the first 45 seconds of this period than we did in the last 10 minutes of the first period.
Yeah, it's tough juggling all the players out there, the players' names, because we're always subject to the subs in each game, and it's hard to follow.
Also, I would imagine as a hockey player, it's not easy too when you're adjusting to new line mates. And being back out there with the guys that you're used to playing with might make a difference, you'd imagine, for some of these teams that are looking to make a run in the second half of the season.
Yeah, as we're approaching the second half of the season, I think that experimentation is actually a good thing because you can adjust and get ready for the playoffs.
Friesen, he's got Poirier and Stasny with him. And another number 12. Oh, that's Berg for Siam Mandalay, and Culligan wearing number 12, a sub for Lexicon Lumberjacks. They're both out there right now. So it's in the corner. Siam Mandalay with Stasny firing one, and that is in. It snuck in to the left side of the goal, little worm burner that got past Parker, and it's 2-1, and that was exactly what the doctor ordered. Beginning the second period here, trailing 2-0.
Yeah, I don't think Lance had a chance on that one. Stasny was in the slot. Of course, Stasny is playing with a broken toe, but when you're standing in the slot, you just receive the pass and shoot it in, no problem.
He didn't kick it in. 9th goal of the year for Stasny. And 16 points now for number 92 in white. And it's a 2-1 game. And if you're Siam Mandalay, you feel a whole lot better now than it's going to be off. So he got away with one there.
Yeah, he did, yep.
Poirier will try and take advantage. Shoot one down, that's in the net, but not so got a piece of it, and that's a goal. We are tied 2-2. Just a harmless little floater that Jeff Bonazzo got a stick on. And it's a 2-2 brand new hockey game, and that is, you can say taking advantage of a gift. It may or may not have been a pretty close offsides. Doesn't matter, the play continues, and if you're Lexicon Lumberjacks, at that point you still, you can't blame it on the offsides after the plays happened.
Yeah, it wasn't a hard shot. It might have been deflected a little bit, but it just went above Lance's glove. He might have saved it if he was standing up. He went down, but hey, we're tied at 2 apiece.
2-2. I think that got a piece of Bonazzo because that took a really funky bounce out front. If it didn't, it got a piece of his uniform. But somehow that puck clearly changed directions and just snuck over the top of Parker. And we have a 2-2 hockey game. Lexicon Lumberjacks, 2 goals on 11 shots, but none of them here in the second period so far.
Whoa.
A little bounce in the step for these two teams now in a 2-2 game, and we expect this to be a fantastic second half of the game. Again, if you are just joining us, it's a running clock, 17-minute periods. We've got 13 left to play in the second in a game that has already seen some fireworks. 2 goals apiece, and this period has been basically all the action. If you bought tickets to this game, which would be a ripoff because it's free, but if you bought tickets to this game, I hope you were sitting on our right side, because so far all 4 goals in the game have been down there.
Yep, the ice is, it seems to be going one way. The guys are skating uphill one way and downhill the other way.
Lexicon Lumberjacks, that's Shakhnovsky cutting in, looking for the feed, but the pass just a little out of his reach. And here's Arola. He was the game's first goal scorer, I believe. Arola flips one to Omelka, who can't hold the line. Pass just bounced over his stick, and now Lexicon will have to jump back out and reset here to stay onsides. Ken Kinborn jumping into the play, the defenseman. You don't see him stay back at the blue line. When he's in there, he could be anywhere on the ice.
He's a joy to watch, Ken Kinborn. He's just got such a great presence. It's not just his size. You know, I think he's about 6'1", 6'2", but just the way he positions himself. And he plays with such confidence. He's a joy to watch.
The Thai citizen, who I believe is Swedish-born. Kinborn. Arola's on the ice. Kim Arola as well is a citizen here of Thailand. That was a risky pass from Dream, as I don't think he saw that there was a Lexicon Lumberjacks player who was bearing down on him as he floated one across his crease. But no harm, no foul, and we get a whistle here on a cover. And with that, it gives us a chance to tell you that there's a reason why I am exhausted today. That's because until 3 o'clock in the morning last night, I was working on the next episode of a program called OTR, which we've just launched a couple of months ago. It's a YouTube channel focused on food and history and culture. YouTube.com/OTR on the road. It's a joy to do. It's something that's been a really fun challenge. And the reason why we bring it up is because we are really happy to be partnering with Thailand TV and my good friend Keith sitting next to me. So keep an eye out for OTR on Thailand TV. In the meantime, you can check us out at OTRontheroad.com, although I haven't updated that site in a while, so please forgive me on that one. Just stick with the YouTube channel for now, youtube.com/OTR on the road. And oh man, I think I actually have a bill to pay on this website coming up soon. I'm gonna make a little note of that.
That's why it's not on Thailand TV either. It's those websites. We get to it soon.
Looks like we have a little delay in the action here. There's 10:53 on the clock. They've stopped the clock.
So they're calling the commissioner over, John Shakhnovsky, who's wearing 18 in blue, to address something, that whether it's an ice issue or it's hard to tell exactly what happened.
Oh, apparently the puck caught the referee on the neck.
Aha.
So he might be in for a little bit of medical aid.
That makes sense. So we have a delay as a referee is being attended to for a medical issue. I'm looking down below at the treatment being given to the referee. It appears that we're going to be okay to carry on shortly, but some maintenance work being done. Anyway, with the running clock, you and I really haven't had a chance to talk about much other than what's happening at that moment. So let's use this chance, exactly halfway through this game, to tell you about the second game coming up after this one, Aware and KCG. You're
okay.
with me for that one. You're here for the duration with me today.
I'm here for both games. If you'll keep me here, and I'm looking forward to that game as well. I do think KCG is favored over Aware, but there's always surprises in the SHL. And it looks like the referee is back.
Players
so we're ready to have the face-off.
Little stick taps on the ice. So yeah, Aware and KCG, which on paper is a mismatch. It's Aware in last place, KCG in first. But KCG playing today without Captain Jesse Starasta without star defenseman Roman Larin. So a couple of injuries and guys who couldn't make it today is potentially going to create a chance at a pretty good hockey game. So we'll get to that one when we get there. But for now, we play on, and the officials, thankfully, are both okay to keep going. So that was saw that stick tap on the ice as Berg was cutting to the middle, but it is still in possession of CM Mandalay, and that one now is going to be covered by Parker. Lance Parker, so far for Lexicon Lumberjacks, has stopped 6 shots out of 8. On the other side, it's Dream, who has 10 saves on the 12 shots that he's faced. On the scoreboard, it's 2-2. The face-off won by CM Mandalay, but not controlled, and now it's a race for the puck as a chance at an odd man opportunity for Lexicon Lumberjacks. 2 goals in the first for Lexicon, 2 goals in the second for CM Mandalay. Greg, in your opinion, the difference between the first and the second in puck control and puck possession for CM Mandalay, what did it? As just like that, an opportunity for a go-ahead goal from Bonazzo is stopped by Parker.
I know they're passing the puck better, and they're getting their shots on goal, and they're just playing with more confidence.
I know we had a late start today. Keith, we're going to be quicker around between games, or am I going to have time to do my daily donut run? This is the time of the night now. I know
I've been busy. I don't know.
I know that fair. No, but I know that at 9:30 we're usually wrapping up the first game, so my internal clock is telling me it's Tim Hortons time. But I look on the scoreboard, I've still got half a hockey game left. But that's okay, because you know what? It's going to be a good half of a hockey game. And
here's the best I got for you. Some donuts on the screen.
You have way too much time on your hands.
No, I don't. I just made it especially for you, as a gift to you for your donut. There you go. So you do have some. And you can subscribe to YouTube as well.
Did you say that was a gift for me?
Oh my God. How do you come up with them? That's why you're a professional.
That was a excuse me shot from Arola, who could have chunked at that one but nearly put it home. And now a breakaway opportunity for Mike Friesen. He's got Murray with him and Stasny behind him. Scott Murray, he had some wheels for the veteran. That shot from Dittmer is gloved and covered by
Lance
goalkeeper
Parker. It was
Parker.
an easy save for Lance. The other thing, okay, we've got shots on goal now, 13-10. And as I said last week, normally in the NHL, the shots per goal are 10-1. But in the SHL, I find that there are 5 shots per 1 goal.
But not so on the draw, and that one is won by Lexicon Lumberjacks, who will begin their offense with Omelka. They've got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Hongswati was charging towards the cage, but Omelka just holds. He'll rotate. Holding the defenseman Omelka with Hongswati, but nice defensive play from Ralph Dittmer, poke checking it away and starting the CM Mandalay break. End-to-end action, although both teams tightening up between the blue lines, preventing those odd man rushes and breakouts that they're trying to create. That one into the belly of Dream for the whistle. If you're a goalkeeper, let me rephrase that. You are a goalkeeper.
Yes, I am, still even at my age. I'm a sub for this league. I'm not on a team, but if one of the goalies can't make it due to an injury or a vacation, I will fill in, and I filled in 1 game for the Lexicon Lumberjacks about 2 months ago.
We saw a first period of end-to-end action. Second period is a lot more possession-heavy for both teams. As a goalkeeper, what do you personally prefer, facing maybe odd-man rushes in which you don't get screened, but you have quick shots coming at you, or these long possessions in which teams are creating some traffic and gumming it up in front of the net? What's your preference as a goalie that gives you a better opportunity to make a save?
I actually prefer a lot of shots because if you're saving them, you're getting into the game, you're getting the action, you get your confidence up. The worst thing to do is be sitting there idle with the plays in the other end. You get really cold. And when the other team does come finally for a shot, you're cold, and it's hard to play that game. So I prefer a lot of shots, a lot of action.
That was Sean Berg, by the way, who snapped that one, the CM Mandalay sub wearing number 12 today. Actually had a pretty good opportunity that was unintentional. He tried to get a quick strike missile fired. You could tell he was aiming top right corner. He whiffed on the shot and then managed to get a snapshot away with a lot of strength behind it and had a pretty good scoring opportunity. But Parker, a nice glove save. Parker today, almost no rebounds allowed. He's done a nice, actually both goalkeepers have done a nice job with the glove getting those whistles today, and it's the reason why we have a 2-2 game and not, as you said, a 1 goal for every 5 shots as you typically see here.
Yes, and both goalies are playing well. No soft goals, that's for sure, and some nice blocker saves and glove saves.
That was another nice save on Saint Denis, and another one right there on on Arola, and a third one, so a 3-save sequence for Dream, and now Friesen racing end to end. He'll collect, get a quick slap shot away. It was at a pretty tight angle, and I'm not sure he would have snuck that one home, but Stasny holds the line and keeps it in. He's got Murray and Friesen with him as the forwards, and now they'll make a quick substitution for CM Mandalay to bring on Andrew Ross, who jumps into the play, and it's Ross chasing it into the corner, but not able to hold it in. And the puck back across the red line, and we get a whistle and an icing. 4 minutes left to play in the second period. Adam Gottschalk, along with Greg Beatty and Keith Mueller here from Bangkok, Thailand, the Thailand International Ice Hockey Arena. Did I get that right? I always mess it up. I think I've called it a different name.
Yeah, I always, it's like you want to leave out the hockey part or the ice part or something every time you do it.
Or the CM Hockey Arena.
Yeah.
Ross with a slap shot didn't get much behind it, and Parker, easy kick save. Lexicon Lumberjacks onside, looking to spring Vatsis, but the puck over his stick, and end to end we go. Mike Poirier with it, but not so McConnell along with him. Poirier just kind of flings a little pass to himself off the end boards. We're down to the final 3.5 minutes of the second period, a 2-2 game. Both Lexicon Lumberjacks goals in the first period, both CM Mandalay goals here in the second. What will the third have in store? Stay here to find out, but first 3.5 left in this period. Beautiful pass. Wow. Little centering feed, and somehow Parker's able to cover as he got steamrolled by Ed McConnell. That was a pretty sneaky pass from behind the end line that actually found McConnell's tape, but Parker was in good position and made the save.
Yeah, that was definitely Lance's best save of the night. Actually, I don't know how he got that pad out there with the guy falling on top of him, but nice save, Lance.
He gets a little stick to the legs there from his teammate Omelka as well, just saying, hey, great job. CM Mandalay started this period with 2 quick goals to tie the game, but since then, both teams playing tight. Between the blue lines has been where most of the action's been. That's a nice pass for Stasny to rip a one-timer, but he wasn't able to hit it cleanly, and it went wide of the net. There's been quickly, before I get into my point, 3-on-1 developing for Lexicon Lumberjacks with Q Krasop leading, and a gorgeous defensive play from Ralph Dittmer sliding on the ice to break up that pass and possibly save a goal.
Yeah, that was a Bobby Orr style block the shot.
Hong Zwadi carries the puck in. Hong Zwadi gives it up on the pass for a little tapper that stays out. That was Q Prasop. The point I was going to make is that, look, all respect to this arena, which is a nice place. It's obviously been a huge boon to hockey here, and incredibly thankful for this being built. However, the ice does tend to get a little choppy when there's a lot of hockey played, and this is the end of a very, very long day of ice hockey with the tournament played before this. So when you start seeing pucks at the end of a period bouncing over guys' sticks, we've seen that now 2 or 3 times in the last couple of minutes, and you have to wonder whether some of it is just ice that has been played on a lot today.
It looks a little bit soft. I don't see a lot of ruts in it, but it does look soft, and the players don't seem to be skating as fast as they would on nice hard ice.
Poirier had it on his stick. We are down to the final minute of the second period. And let me quickly remind our stations that this is going to be your local break coming up. So in 45 seconds when this period ends, it is your commercial break. Stick handling, beautiful play from Kinborn, but he got hit knee to knee. They're going to call a penalty on that one against CM Mandalay, but it was a tight call. I mean, again, we don't have the benefit of replay. It might have looked worse than it was just by nature of being knee to knee.
I thought it was a trip.
Well, all that matters is that the official did too, and skating off is going to be Berg. And so with only 15 seconds left in this period, that will almost entirely be on the clock when we start the third period. Only 10 seconds here, and a quick snapshot off the draw that goes just wide. Lexicon Lumberjacks very nearly cashed that one in from Arola, but that's the end of the period. And with that, with 2 minutes and 22 seconds of power play time looming, we head to period number 3 in a 2-2 hockey game. Back after this on Thailand's biggest night for hockey, Hockey Night in Thailand.
Let's go! I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go! Let's go! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go! Let's go! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's go! Let's go!
Okay.
Well, buckle up for the third period in what promises to be a phenomenal final 17 minutes of hockey. It's 2-2 Lexicon Lumberjacks and CM Mandalay. Adam Gottschalk, Greg Beatty, and Keith Mueller here with you from Bangkok. So both of these teams really, really want this one, and both of them know how important the last 17 minutes are today. It's a power play right now for another minute and 48 seconds for Lexicon Lumberjacks as Sean Berg is off on a... What was the call against? Was it an interference call? Or
That was a tripping penalty.
Oh, it was a trip. It was a knee-to-knee collision. You can see that sometimes called one or the other. Doesn't matter. The end result's the same. And Arola will try and set the offense for Lexicon Lumberjacks, and holding it on sides is Kinborn, who loses his footing and goes down. And the puck is sent back down the length of the ice for a very important clear. CM Mandalay in the first period killed about 5 minutes of penalty time. And they're being asked to do it once more.
Yeah, and they're doing a pretty good job of that. Of course, Ken Kinborn is controlling the puck out there. He's just a threat every second he's out there.
Kinborn didn't have a lot of looks with Arola out for 3 weeks, but having their leading scorer back has the potential of really opening up the offense here, and Kim Arola has it. He's faking the shot, but heads up and looking for somewhere to go with the puck. We're down to 30 seconds left on the power play for Lexicon Lumberjacks. They are 5-3-1. CM Mandalay 3-6-0, but with a lot of hockey left to be played this season, there is still a ton to be decided this year. And you got to think that there's potentially both of these teams still have hopes for making a run, especially the way that CM Mandalay's played lately. That's a beautiful centering pass towards the middle. Vatsis, who already has a goal today, tried to find it. He goes down. The puck is cleared. The power play is over. And just off the just out of the penalty box. Here's Berg leading it 1-on-2. Berg floats one towards the cage. That kind of handcuffed Parker. He was in the right position. I'm not sure he saw that cleanly, but he was able to stop it anyway because of where he was.
Yeah, I mean, it almost went in. Somehow he tucked it under his arm, but that was a close one.
Look, on the score sheet, it counts as a save. That's all that matters. So it is a win in the defensive zone on the faceoff for Lexicon Lumberjacks as they're trying to take the pressure off of Parker and start the offense. It's a 6-shot advantage, 21-15 so far in this one. Honestly, it's a pretty good hockey game. 2-on-1 back the other way. This is actually one of the first in a while, and getting back is CM Mandalay, and there's another penalty call coming. This is going to give Lexicon Lumberjacks a second power play of the period as Promtong went down, and we'll see who skates off. And I think going to the bench is Adam Simpson, 78 in white, and it is with the trip. So
Another
Simpson
tripping.
off.
Yep.
I was starting to say, though, this has that feeling of a game that maybe next goal wins. It's not. We're not seeing those 2-on-1, 3-on-1 fast break opportunities since the first period. Both teams have really sort of locked down into a defense-first puck control hockey game.
It's a low-scoring game. The goalies are playing well. And, yes, I do think the next goal is going to win. As we said at the beginning of the game, it's going to be a close game, and sure enough, it's still 2-2.
Oh,
with
Parker
12
nearly
minutes to
got
play in
caught
the
out of his
period.
net. Stasny went and got the puck, and that was... You hear some yelling from the bench for a hold on CM Mandalay, but it doesn't matter because back is Lexicon Lumberjacks. Kinborn fires one, looking for a deflection. He got one, but it went wide. This is the fourth power play opportunity in this game for Lexicon Lumberjacks. They are 0 for 3. Kinborn fires and scores! He goes 5-hole, fooled Dream, and it's in the back of the net. And Ken Kinborn has given Lexicon Lumberjacks the lead back.
Yep, like I said, Adam, he's a threat every time he's out there, and sure enough, he took the shot, got the goal. Dream was in the right spot, but just went through his legs.
The last words out of my mouth, I believe, were Lexicon Lumberjacks 0 for 3 on the power play, make it 1 for 4. So Kinborn's 6th of the year makes it a 3-2 Lexicon Lumberjacks lead, and that's a goal that, as you said, maybe 9 times out of 10 he's going to score on that one. It was just a perfect shot. The goalie was in a good position, squeezed the pads. Kinborn's shot just, all it took was a little sliver of daylight. Another whistle here. Let's see what the call is. Not sure if the goal might have come off its moorings, and I guess that's all it is.
Yeah, these nets are not locked down properly, and they are really loose, and it's actually hard to keep them on the tiny post that they're on.
That's a great point. That we see that every game. Is that an injury risk thing? Is that intentional to keep guys from getting hurt?
Well, I think they just forgot to order the proper pipes, to be honest with you. And hopefully they're going to get them because they just need to have like a 3-inch pipe that sits on the ice and locks them in a little bit better than they are now because they're just going to come loose again and again.
All right, be honest with me. Not that you ever wouldn't. I mean, we're only live on the air. Real quick, that was a little pass to Poirier. So, as a goalkeeper, have you ever, not saying here, not saying recently, have you ever just kind of reached back and you give that post a little nudge? Like you don't really like what's happening in front of you. Maybe your team's caught no line change. Maybe some guys are getting position right in front of you. Maybe the puck is just, it's you don't see where it is. You're getting screened too tightly. Do you ever just kind of reach back and say, yeah, well, whistle?
Well, they do say the post is a part of the goalie's equipment. So sometimes you have to give it a little tender and loving care. And, you want to give it a little hug when it needs to be given a hug.
I think that if you'd said anything other than that, we would all know that that was a lie. That's it's those little things that, like, defensive linemen or offensive linemen in football wearing gloves that are the same color as the other team's jerseys, so you can get away with a little hold now and then.
Why not?
3-2 Lexicon Lumberjacks to lead. CM Mandalay has 9 minutes and 20 seconds left to even this one up. That's a beautiful pass, and what a save by Dream on Hong Zwadi. That is about as nicely executed a fast break as you will see, and it's also about as perfect positioning as you can see a goalie make against that 2-on-1.
Wow, Dream came up big when he needed to, because if they had scored it when it went up 4-2, the game would be getting away from Siam Mandalay. But Dream has kept them in there.
Both goalkeepers have played pretty spectacular hockey games so far, but a 2-on-1 developing, and it just floated off the stick of Stasny, who could not quite get control. I think he was, whether that puck bounced over his stick or he just had his head up and didn't quite corral it. It is a golden opportunity that just goes awry as CM Mandalay looking to even this one up. We've seen them score in quick succession before in this game. They were down 2-0 at the end of the first period, then scored twice quickly to start the second. There's a shot pass looking for a deflection from Berg that a little too much for him, but stolen right back. That one whiffed on by Benazzo, and now Promptong ahead of everybody. Breakaway opportunity for Roger Promptong, going 5-hole, stopped by Dream, rebound from Vatsis, stopped as well, and we get the whistle and the cover.
Well, Dream's coming up big when he needs to. Another nice save.
So with that, really quickly, let me give the microphone to on the. All right, I understand. I got you. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not that great at lip reading. We have a special announcement from our friend Keith on the next whistle. There you go. Just wait for what this one's going to be. 7.5 minutes left to play. CM Mandalay trailing by 1 with possession. McConnell stretches to stay onside and does. Scott Murray in there, and he's looking for Sinagulia. Get the second line out there offensively for CM Mandalay, looking to create these scoring opportunities. And with 7 minutes left, you'd imagine you're going to see a whole lot of that top line of Stasny, Benazzo, and Friesen coming up. But for now, trying to manufacture a goal, CM Mandalay. They only have 16 shots in this hockey game. It's a pretty impressive defensive effort from Lexicon Lumberjacks against a potent offense. You know, CM Mandalay came into this game last in the league in goals scored with just 30, but the last 4 weeks has been a different story, and they have been putting up some points. Kim Arola has it, collapsed on defensively by McConnell and Murray, and it's Murray eventually who's getting his stick held, but no call forthcoming. You know, when you're one of the guys who's responsible for the formation of this league and the idea that there is high-level hockey, you'd think that on a iffy little play like that, when Scott Murray's got his stick being held, you know, he should be a guy who gets a call, no?
You would think. Well, no, I don't think they play any favorites here. It's
half tongue-in-cheek.
The refereeing is actually quite good, and they're both responsible for calling penalties and doing the lines work. So they call the icings, the offsides, and the penalties. Oh,
Melka to Arola, and Saint-Denis was waiting on the doorstep for that rebound, but it never came. Now Friesen ahead of everybody. Friesen going 5-hole and snapped away. Lance Parker, and
another
back
breakaway.
end-to-end. Arola, and his stick got lifted on a beautiful defensive back check by Ralph Dittmer. Wow, end-to-end we go. No goals out of it, but 3 consecutive breakaway opportunities. And now, with that, let me hand it over to Keith as we have to make a very quick change here.
Thank you very much, Adam. Because we're running late, we have to hit a Facebook window. So on the next whistle, we're going to sign off here for this game. You can find us on the second game. So look at the thing, and it'll be there on the second link.
Can I ask, Keith, does that affect YouTube viewers, or just if you're watching us streaming on Facebook?
If you're watching us streaming right now, if YouTube viewers will probably switch you over. So we're going to go there now. So thank you, and we'll see you on the other side.